Morning. Well, it's that time now. I'm off to Gambia. We're going to find out where the money goes to, how it's spent. Have a good one and see you when I get back.
And we got talking and they said, oh, what do you do for a living? And I said, oh, I'm a teacher. And so they were like, oh, teacher, great. They said, oh, you can come out and we'll start a school. And I was like, oh, come on. I'm a teacher, like a normal teacher, like you have children sat in front of you. You teach English and maths and things. You don't start schools. But I think, you know, really, I mean, I was too young and stupid to know that that was a ridiculous idea.
Most of these children that you are seeing, because if it was not New Life, some of them might not be going to school because their parents cannot afford to pay for them to go to school. So because of New Life came into being, so that was the reason why some of these children today, they were so much grateful of New Life because of what New Life did to them.
After visiting the schools, we made a short journey across town to Kotu Silo. During a tour of the second school, I was informed of plans to build a new tier on top of the existing layers in order to create space for more classrooms and eventually more children. After walking around the village with the residents, I was truly lost for words. The conditions in which these people had to eat in, sleep in and live in are just shocking.
Deep down in my heart, deep down in my heart, I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. Deep down in my heart.
The following morning we returned to the schools, and this time I was able to sit down and talk with some of the teachers and former students.
And we just want to thank you for that. Like the love we share, like right now, it's nice.
Had it been that they didn't step in we would have been illiterate like our parents. What we would have known is just for us to be a housewife and to know the things in which a housewife does. But thanks to New Life, and we are thanking all the sponsors that are trying very hard in order to sponsor the kids. Though it is hard, it is challenging here, but we say thank you very much.
It is very important for people to know that education is the way forward. And what Sylvia and the team across the are doing is really amazing. Like going around, bringing the kids to school is really amazing.
There's a huge sense of satisfaction at the end of this. Because if you invest in somebody and see that growth and development, then there's nothing more powerful, really, investing in a person's life. To see that they actually can come out of that poverty trap that their parents have been in, their grandparents have been in. They now come out of that poverty trap and they can achieve.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. It was time to get down to the nitty-gritty. We spoke with Kim Morgan, who's in control of the admin operations.
We've developed a system that is as near foolproof as you can possibly get. The money is raised in the UK, negotiating exchange rates, and the money is then taken into the bank. Once we've changed it into Dallasy, we go into the bank, get a receipt, we know the exchange rate, we know how much money's had, and that will go into a savings account in the bank. And when money is required here in Gambia, they will email us and set out the items they want to purchase, so many $100,000. I then online move the money from a savings account, which only I can access, into a current account, which they can access and take out. Then they have to provide receipts for every Dallasy that they spend.
We do all the salaries, so from the UK, we structure all the salaries for 69 members of staff that we have here. That's cleaning staff, teachers, our office staff, PE teachers, everything. So we structure all our salaries every month. We do all our social security, we do all our income tax for our teachers. We pay everything monthly through cheques and cash that is accounted for by receipts.
After speaking with Beth, we learned that she had just that day sponsored another child.
So I met this beautiful girl yesterday in the village. Mary, one of our evangelist teachers, introduced her to me.
I'm just going to keep this recorded. So yeah, ask her, how does she feel about being sponsored?
So legi mu ne legi fu mu nekk ni dañu la sponsor legi naka nga mel da nga kontaan da so she's happy. She's happy.
She's happy? So where is she going to live? If
mu ne legi fo nekk fo dëkk fii nii da nga am fii feneen fi nga dëkk da nga am to a relative, some relative.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what was she doing before? Was she in another school or?
So mune legi, come yow fi musulo duga school tedu. Musulo duga, she never been to school.
Okay. How old is she?
Legi nyata at nga am? We am 13 years.
So it was really interesting because these kids that started also the New Life Children's Center also become bigger, and they some of them are now teachers, some of them are now pastors. Like Bernard, I could remember I used to teach Bernard, I used to teach Melvin.
From these first conversations, it was clear that the individuals who were sponsored were taking full advantage of the opportunities to achieve great things. Now let's ask her, what is her ambition in life?
Legi mu ne soo duggee school nga jeexal school lan nga bëgg a nekk doctor. She want to be a doctor.
Despite all the positive energy and attitudes of the people we encountered in the Gambia, I couldn't stop thinking about the villages, what I'd seen earlier in the week.
There were two things in particular that got me. There was one moment when we went into the village, and like this village on a rubbish tip. And to be honest, the rubbish tip sucked, that they live on that, but that wasn't the bit that got me. There were two girls in particular, one in my right hand, one walking holding my left hand. And the one walking holding my right hand, she went to school at New Life Children's Centre. And she showed me around, she kind of could point out her house, I could have a real conversation with her, and it was like she was taking time to care for me and show me around where she lived, and like the level of conversation I could have with her was normal, like you'd expect to have with, she was about 8 or 9 years old. There was another girl in my left hand, same age, like about the same height, she wasn't in school, and all the conversation I could really have with her was she kind of made noises because she didn't speak English, and smiled. She was a lovely girl, but you just saw the massive difference that education makes to their lives.
The contrast between the experience of the girls there in the Gambia and the experience that I observe in the school that I work in, and the difference in how that age group interact with education and really engage with education. And our kids here in this country, they have so many opportunities once they leave education, whereas the girls there and the boys, what are their opportunities? What opportunities do they have? And I guess it just really brought that home to me, that education is so important for the people in the Gambia, for the girls and the boys there. So important, because that's the key to them being able to actually access so much more in life.
What would you say to somebody who was thinking about sponsoring?
Do it, absolutely do it. My eldest son, when he was 15, was able to go out and visit the project. So not only was he involved with making the choice and sponsoring, but he was then able to go out and visit the kids and see it for himself, and it all made sense. And he was able to say, I've had a part to play in that. So definitely sponsor a child and get involved with the charity.
Just a couple of Starbucks coffees, we can make such a difference to those children's lives. It's so easy. And then, you know, you've also got the chance to go out and meet them, which is, you know, they're not miles and miles away. You can actually get out there, meet them, see your sponsor child, meet their families. It's just amazing.
But I sat down with Fidel and I was like, oh, Fidel, we sponsor you to go to school here. And he's like, oh, he's really young. He's about 8 years old and looks about 6 years old. So I don't know if he fully gets that we sponsor him. But when we were chatting to him, I was like, we sponsor you to go to school here. We love you. You're a part of our family. Like, we pay for your education. He's like, oh. I was like, let's take I want to show you pictures of my son and my family. Showed him all that. I was like, can we take a video? And he sat down. I was like, right, say this in at the camera. He's like, hello, Caleb. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Gracie. And saying hello to all the family and stuff. And I was like, right, I've got a present for you. Do you want it? And he's like, so I just put him down for a minute and go and get the football. And then just this moment of going to give him the football. That was like, this was the only point in Gambia that I nearly cried. That I actually had to hold back the tears. Because it was like, this kid, he actually felt a part of our family because he was real.
I travelled to the Gambia with an open mind, and I'll be honest, I was unsure as what I would find, knowing how some of the charities back in the UK operate. And you know what? I can sit here today and I can guarantee you that the NLCC are a trustworthy group of people, and everything you give them, no matter how little or large, goes exactly where it should go. If you'd like to be featured on Newark TV, why not drop us a line on info@newark-tv.co.uk. Oh, and don't forget, hit the subscribe button